Thank you so much for taking the time. You did a very great appearance in that show, and it's a very, very huge show. 130 million for the first season. That's the double of Game of Thrones first season. So congrats for that. So how get you prepared for this kind of roles?
You read everything you can, study everything you can, look at photographs, read books, look at footage. There's lots and lots of footage that's out there. Listen to audio tapes, talk to anybody you can. But at the end of the day, it is an imaginative exercise. And you have a lot of blanks to fill in with your imagination, you know.
And you just become a really tight-knit group, I think. It never felt like a huge, big studio movie, you know. It felt like filming a film, but it was ultimately about our relationships together and really sort of like embedding and believing in those relationships, that he was my father and that Claire was my sister. And so that really became a huge part of the process, actually, was the bonding and then playing together.
If you could be a princess and if you could be a king for just one day, so what would you change in the world, and what would you do?
They can't change that. I mean, you know, nowadays they don't have really that much power, do they? But, you know, maybe 400 years ago they had power, but nowadays they don't. They
Reverse
can't change
Brexit.
that much. Yeah. I doubt that. She probably would have voted for it. Probably.
Well, that's why you've got to quickly
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
Off with her head. Oh, God, you can't do that.
What kind of feeling was it for you being a princess? Because I know so many girls
I know.
dreamed about being a
I know.
princess one time.
It's not all it's cracked up to be. Yeah. I think that, you know, because you do start to feel how she would have felt in terms of I had like 7 or 8 fittings per dress, and you get to film in these really beautiful places. And, you know, even when you're filming the scene, you had people waiting on you all the time. But actually, you realise that you have so little, you know, you have so few options. You can't choose to do any other job that you want to do. Well, Margaret couldn't. And I think in a way, sometimes what you're defined by, you rebel against. And so I think the fantasy of being a princess is really different to actually being one. And I would not
Be fun to
wish
be
it on
one in a
anybody.
Disney movie or something like that, but in real life it looks like it's more of a burden than liberation.
Because you're born into it. It's not like you've always wanted to be it and you become it. You know, you're born into it. And it's a very different thing from wanting to be it, I think.
And my last question, do you have some nice memories from behind the scenes for us? Maybe some things go worse, that should not go worse, or some weird things because of all this costume thing and stuff and props and...
Yeah, I mean, I had beautiful dresses made for me, all, you know, that took months to make, and Michelle Clapton is so clever. And there was one scene where Margaret's having a huge party after she's just, Elizabeth has agreed for her and Peter to get married. And we filmed the party scene before the dinner scene when she announces that she wants to marry him. And I had this long cigarette holder and champagne. And I mean, literally, I burnt 3 full holes in the dress, and they had to get it. They were sewing through the night trying to fix it up. Also, we had loads of practical jokes with Billy, who plays Prince Charles.
Oh,
He was the
great.
most
That
fun.
is lovely,
He
that
was like
kid,
the
yeah.
life and soul of the whole set.
Yeah.
He was the most beautiful, amazing energy. And we played lots of practical jokes, and I became like a little auntie to him. He was wonderful.
I'd worked with Ben Miles at the RSC, so it was really such a pleasure to get to see him again and spend that much time with again. And Jeremy Northam, I'd met a couple of times out in LA, so I was delighted to be able to, again, see them and work with them. Victoria Hamilton I'd worked with on a show out in South Africa for 4 months. So there's that sense of you're getting together with friends, and it's that community thing. But the thing that, the memory for me was going to the armory. I had to go and practice for the shooting, and I went to this armory up in North London. And it was just incredible because it was a sort of historical trove of Roman arms, Saxon arms, muskets from the sort of Oliver Cromwell's time onwards, right through the Second World War. This huge armory with all these practical weapons. So it was actually like a little kid again going in there and, you know.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you,
so
Jarvis.
much.
Nice to meet
Pleasure
you.
talking to you.